Welcome to Kiwo Talk, breaking news Wahala segment. And today on Kiwo Talk, we'll be discussing two interesting stories. One, the first story, actress Eucharia did an Instagram live saying that being gay is demonic, it is sinful, and even our co-host and our honorable producer Chimereze was there to try and educate on some Bible scripture. But she rewarded Chimereze with his preaching with a block button. She gave him a block button as his reward for this. So you guys are going to see it and see some of the videos from those people. And also in our second news, we'll be talking about the movie I Am Samuel that has been banned by the Kenyan movie board. They call the movie a blasphemous movie, an evil movie, a movie that is unfit for viewers to watch, a movie that will drag people to hell, but they rather just stand it as blasphemous. My name is Marvelous Achafu Kelechi, and welcome to Kiwo Talk. And as usual, I have Henry. Chimereze Henry, and we are in our Toronto studios in Canada. Welcome, Chimereze. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Mr. Marvelous. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, thank you very much. And just like they told you in the Instagram live, I bought my cross to also buy to also buy it. So moving into the story. Let's move into the story first. Let's start with the actress Eucharia's story. Now, actress Eucharia is someone that is popular, that has graced our screen with very beautiful movies, very interesting movies. But it's so bad that we saw her go below, almost like below the belt, or what I don't want to say in the gutters, but that would be wrong. But she's a mature woman, elderly woman. But I would say that was very, very below. By calling out gay people, saying that they are sinful, they are evil, they are a satanist angel or agents of the devil. Chimereze, what do you feel about that story? Can you give us a breakdown?
These headlamps and these things that shoot out on the side that defines us as a woman, and the fact that there is, a place somewhere that is not protruding, I'm sure you know what I mean, that is meant to be a birth canal, and you know that inside you, biology has taught you that every month something happens with regards to the fact that if you don't have pregnant, or that you don't get pregnant rather, you bring out what is called your menstrual flow. And these are the things that make you a woman. And you have also read, been informed through biology, through sciences, that when you sleep with the opposite sex called the male gender, that have what you call that protrusion, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, you're able to conceive and have a baby. And then someone who have the same things like you says to you, you are beautiful, you are so alluring, you are so sexy, I want to have sexual relationship with you. When you are armed with the words of God, what do? You gently tell them, my dear, before I tell you, get thee behind me, Satan, let me show you the words of God. You take your time, because you see, the words of God are engraved on the fleshly tablets of your heart. You pinpoint and show them. This is what the word of God says.
So during the weekend, I wasn't set, and when I came back on Sunday evening around 1 a.m. from set, I couldn't sleep right. So I just saw that actress Eucharia was online, and normally I listen to her preachings and morning devotions and stuff like that, just to get some form of spiritual inspiration, knowing that, some Sundays I'm not able to go to church. So on that particular day, she started, and the first thing I heard was, God created the woman out of the man, and then with all these headlamps and all these cars and all these things, I was like, this is another typical, thing again. And I wasn't about to go into having that conversation. And before I knew it, she started talking about same-sex marriage, but she gave some key points in her live stream. She started talking about same-sex marriage, and she started talking about a supposed actress that approached her and said she was in love with her and all of that. And what actress Eucharia had to say was that she looked at her with disgust.
So therefore I speak to you, you foul spirit, possessed of the devil, get thee behind me. If they don't want to change. So you see, knowing the words of God will save you from being manipulated. Because I remember years ago, I don't want to mention name for security reasons, a senior actress, an elderly actress, even approached me that she wanted to love me, that she wanted to kiss me, and I was looking at her like, very disgustingly she looked to me at that time, and still to me. But because I had gotten to know God, I had gotten to be endued with the words of God, and I am keeping my salvation with fear and trembling, I told her, sorry ma'am, I will not and can never and will never engage in such demonic act.
And I was like, you are supposed to be preaching the word of God, right? You're supposed to be preaching the gospel of love, right? And these are the words coming out from your mouth. It really shook my foundation. It really shook my emotion. And I wasn't expecting it from her, knowing that she has a PhD, a doctorate. And I'm like, where is all this education? When after having all this education, when it is time to pass out this knowledge, or time to, express yourself, to exercise this wisdom, and now you're speaking like someone who hasn't even gone to secondary school. I was really ashamed. Then after the whole life and during the life section, I was also giving them scriptures where Jesus had a very open mind about sexuality. Because if you look into the days of Jesus, the one thing the people kept on asking Jesus is about resurrection, divorce, and if on the resurrection money, whose wife shall that be? And they also talked about adulteries, and they also talked about sex during when Jesus was alive, right? These four things. And then Jesus gave a very good explanation. We've said it over and over. He talks about Enoch, those who are born that way, those who cannot marry, those who have been made Enoch by men, which is in Matthew chapter 19, verse 12, one of those ones. And after Jesus gave that open explanation about sexuality, that is one thing that makes me, love the personality of Jesus very much, because he gave a very open and very reality approach about sexuality. Because we've come to realize that, yes, there are some people who have different sexual preferences. And this is one thing I expected Eucharia as a very learned person to do. But at the end of the whole day, after arguing with them on the live stream, they insulted me, they prayed against me, they were like,
you foul spirit, possessed of the devil, get thee behind me.
I was shocked to my marvelous. I was shocked about it. I said, no wonder you're an actress. Yeah, we can see the acting in everything and the drama. But after the whole thing, after all the things I commented, she took out her time and she texted me, or she DM'd me, and there was a post she deleted. I really wanted to know what was that thing she wrote that she removed, because I know she wrote something that was not suitable for somebody to read, but she removed that message and sent me and told me, hope I enjoyed the whole message. I wonder what I was supposed to enjoy, if I was supposed to enjoy the ridicule, or was I supposed to enjoy the binding and casting? I don't know. But that made me think that you can imagine if Eucharia was my mother and I was gay and I saw this kind of attitude, what we should do. So if I was a child, she would literally block me, kick me out, and make me homeless, all because of my sexuality, which is something sad to say about the actress who has graced our screen for many years.
Oh, please keep your eyes the other way. Come on. Here. Please help me punch my bag. Don't steal a glance. How do you know that? You stole a glance, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Huh? You stole his lunch. You naughty boy. I warned you. Huh? I warned you, didn't I? I warned you. I warned you. Come on here. Come up here. Stop. Don't have to. I warned you. I warned you not to do that.
You know, I can't bear to stay 1 second away from you. Doesn't matter, does it? Which neighbor? Does it matter? Does it matter? Let's go. Let's go inside. Oh, Rachel.
You want to rock it?
Yes, baby.
Okay.
Come, Rachel.
Let me just, I don't, for the first time, for the first time of breaking this wahala, I'm speechless on the entire drama. First of all, like I said, Eucharia is an actress, so you know actress now. Whether we like it or not, they are celebrities. And celebrities, they feed on gist. So she probably thought that by doing her Instagram live, she would earn her spots on big blogs like Linda KG, Star Blog Nigeria. But unfortunately, as strategy fielder, people have talked about the gay issue so much that it's even like it's like expired music in their ears. It sounds like a broken record when you say it, but they'll tell you, but we've heard this issue like a million times. Come and rest. And it just surprises me because I said the Bible is very, very complex. And I was arguing a few weeks ago, was it a few weeks or about 2 weeks ago, and somebody even brought that thing to the Bible that even Jesus healed a gay man in the Bible, and I felt like, where is that? Then he said the centurion servant was actually gay. Because if you translate the Greek word pias, because he said the New Testament was in Greek, and the word pias, P-I-A-S, was translated from Greek, and that word means younger male lover in English word. But because it was unfit for the Bible, they now coined it into like male servant. So it could also mean male servant.
So
the Greek word.
so the centurion was BTS. What do they call that thing? Master and slave relationship.
Exactly. And I said it was like a top and bottom relationship, that it was a gay. If you go on Google and you type Jesus heals gay man, that's the story you see. Different articles on that same centurion servant. So people, there have been different scholars have argued different things. Some have said, oh, it's a lie that the same translation also applies to a younger male slave, which is true. But the same translation also applies in the olden Greek days too. Because people still said that in the olden Greek days, the same translation too could mean male younger lover. And in the and of then, or during the time of the Bible.
Sorry to cut you short, but but now you're saying that even makes sense, because like if it was just a servant, why would a master travel all the way to go meet Jesus to be just a male servant?
Scholars have even argued that his wife supposed to, because wives were like in charge of servants, that they were in charge of like welfare of servants.
Yes.
The masters never had time about. The fact that I traveled all the way, I know there were two conflicting even reports of the Bible. I think it was one in Matthew, one in Mark. One said that he told Jesus that Jesus should just say the word, I will be healed. And another one said he actually brought Jesus home. I don't know this. The conflicting, don't tell where I read Bible, but I read an article on it, and it was just, when I watched it, I said, my dear, some people can actually dig up things. They dug up a lot of things. I actually said, no, people that the Christian community, the Christendom, actually twerked it to favor them or become in their own way. Whether that is true or not, we cannot tell, because there's a particular quote people always see. They say history can be interpreted the way you make of it, whether we like it or not. Different people will interpret history in different ways.
But minus that fact, even in Christianity, Jesus did not marry, and we all claim that Jesus, was flesh and blood. He could eat, he could sleep. It means that Jesus could have sexual urges, and he never married. So that gives us an open reality that yes, if Jesus never married, imagine a man that a full-grown man, he did not marry. What will you think about him? Won't you think it well? So that gives us, the thing is that the church likes to deny its history. The church is ashamed of its history. Same with Apostle Paul. Paul never married. The only one we knew who married was
Fuck on them queer people.
and that is the thing, is because that even in reality, even in our days today, we see a lot of people who are queer and they condemn it. Even when I was younger, my dear Marvelous, you know how I went 2 weeks praying. I got ulcer from that fasting and praying. Father, if you see when I was younger, if you met me and I preached to you, Jesus Christ, you will run.
Give my life to Christ. The way Eucharia said, she give your life to Christ.
The way I used to preach, I felt like by preaching against it, by shouting against it, by praying against it, it will just one day miraculously. You know, my mother approached me one time and she said, "Why are you are so praying and praying and praying and fasting, please eat." That was the kind of state. So there are so many people, because they have that urge, and that is why Apostle Paul even went forward and says, there are some things, there are some burdens I know I must carry until death. For a man to say, I know there are some burden I must carry unto death, that are out of my throat. He says, I choose to do the things I want to, that are good, but I find myself doing the things that are wrong. He shows us that there was a burden, and he says, and God has not taken it away, but he has given me the grace to carry this burden. What burden else can it be, if not the burden of homosexuality? You're getting my point. At that time, and that was why I know I'm stating reality, because I feel the church should go back to reality and look at some reality. There is nothing like an anointing of abstinence. Anybody, any pastor, any priest, we have seen it in the Roman Catholic Church that say they are abstaining, we know they are homosexuals.
No, but some can actually abstain. I've seen people that celibate. Even there are gay people that are very, very celibate. That can go for years without not having sex. I've seen people like that. I know people like that.
But they have a sexual attraction. That is my point.
Yeah, you could have a sexual attraction for.
That is what I'm saying. I'm not saying they indulged in it. I'm only stating that they had a sexual attraction.
Like I said, I cannot say about that because I'm not a Bible scholar. I just say what I like. That's an interpretation of the Bible about the Jesus one, and that's what I feel. I feel like Christianity these days, everybody is just preaching. There are bigger things to preach about in Nigeria, like I always see. I said first, forget the issue of sexuality is like the minor things, even if it's your feet. First, number one, actually, people like Archers here should know that not all of us are Christians. None of us are governed by your Bible. And not all of us even has the same doctrines. Every church has different doctrines. There are some pastors in Nigeria, or there's a pastor in Nigeria that said masturbation is not a sin, which is the Oyakilome.
What is masturbation itself? What exactly is it? Masturbation is defined as stimulating one's own genitals for sexual pleasure. See, so you're stimulating yourself for a sexual feeling. Now, the importance of this definition is for us to understand exactly where it is going. The feeling that you get is a sensual feeling. That means it's a feeling of the senses. It's a pleasure you derive from yourself, from touching your own body. And then the kind of feelings we get, sensuous feelings that we get, can range from something as light as touching your ear or putting something into your ear, and you know there's a feeling you get, and the ringing of the nose, or sometimes even the rubbing of your body, or massaging your body, not because you got some pain or something. There are all kinds of sensuous feelings that we get in our bodies. Now, sensuous here meaning mere animal feeling, meaning not spiritual, just your body. See, those feelings that you get in your body. Now, from the age of puberty, you begin to discover some things about yourself, and your genitals begin to make more sense to you than when you were younger. Plus that, you become aware of your sexuality. Now, that makes masturbation, which is purposely to derive this sensuous feeling which is more than just scratching your head and enjoying it, or having some part of your body scratching you and you feel like you enjoy what you're doing. This is a little more than that, because you're deriving the kind of sensual pleasure that goes into your emotions. That's what makes it a little more. But the reality is, it's still your body.
There's a pastor here in Nigeria that doesn't believe that divorce is a sin. In fact, he has divorced like 3 times. In his 4th marriage, he keeps divorcing, keeps changing women like diaper. Like, sorry, no offense to the women, but just keeps changing women like diaper. And I wonder that what kind of woman would be with this kind of man? Women need to even upgrade themselves. That's why I'm even happy for the feminist movement. I'm sure feminists cannot settle for that kind of man. Keeps changing women like diaper. And in the Bible, they say that divorce is equals to adultery. And adultery itself in the Mosaic law is punishable by death. Why are people not talking about those pastors? Why are people not talking? I tell people that there are bigger things. Even the biggest thing we have in society now is even corruption and the wickedness, the epidemic wickedness.
That is the whole thing. That is the homelessness, the poverty,
the evil perpetrating. I tell people what people decide to do in their bed does not affect anybody. Does not affect the price of anything. Does not affect wickedness.
Even talking about this actress or actors, they are more evil in the industry that they see.
They can't even show people.
Auditions, directors are sleeping, are asking people for role. There are things in your own industry you could talk about. There are things that, as an actress, I think she should address. Not things that doesn't concern her. Yes, we know that one. Okay, you are a straight lady. What about the ones, the wickedness you see on a daily basis? Have you addressed those ones?
Even the owner of Lotsuena, what's the name of this lady, Mo Abudu, that had this scandal. I don't know how true it is, but people accused that he was this lover's love, accused her of being a pussypreneur, that she's using especially was a pussy-preneur, using pussy to position of big movies like Wedding Party, the owner of Ebony Life. I'm sure you know of it. Ebony Life TV Academy, Chief Daddy, made a lot of movie, and it was even surprised. People said she used pussies to even collect contracts from government official, from the Lagos State governor, from this and that, accused of different things. She took money meant for homeless children. She went and built the homeless house in Lekki. You see how many homeless children are in Lekki on the island? The homeless children on the mainland. I gave my church. No, that's what homeless children are. But she built it in Lekki. So she collected the money, the MOU, the memorandum of understanding. She didn't agree to it. Lagos State government as of 2017, she made money off it. Things like this makes me wonder. That's how most of these actors are, not all of them, sir. But many of them, no conscience, wickedness, just trying to make money, trying to live it. They don't care who they have to trample upon just to come and snap to the ground. That at 29 years, I've had my 3 houses. At 26 years, I've had my 2 houses. At 21 years, I bought my Range Rover. I bought my camera. That's what they want to show, all for the gram. They don't even care about the wickedness in their soul, the evil that they're perpetrating. How many people they have to throw under the bus? And they will come again, they will be the ones to judge. Come on, this thing, this and that. Three people are this. And again, in the rain, they are animals, they are fools. This one will be criticizing them that have not even fixed themselves. People that are not even worthy. If they were to measure most of these gay men, their humanity self is at 2%, if not battery low, if not 1%, reading on battery low. Most of these gay people still have their humanity intact. They will rather show mercy on you 10 times than most of these actors and killed people.
And these religious people, by the way. And you know the funny thing about religious people or so-called Christians and pastors is that they feel like they are doing it. Like I'm like in my head, I'm like, this lady feels like God is very happy with her with what she did on Sunday, right? God or Monday rather. God is so happy with her. They are so deceived, thinking that they are doing God a huge favor. If only they can step out from that side and see what they do and see how they are, they will know. They will have a change of heart.
Don't mind them. That's why I said let's just leave them. That's why in Nigeria you have more actors. You have more actors than every movie self. Everybody now is actress. That have never had any movie. All the actors self in Nigeria is enough to make up the entire city. Jokers are comedians. Even pussy-preneurs too, they will come and say actress. People sleeping with Yahoo boy, they will come and say I'm actress. Just for fame. Actors that I don't know their movie rule. It is Roger. Let's move on to our other story so we don't take too much time. Our other story, so the movie I Am Samuel is causing so much buzz, so much frenzy, so much back and forth in every corner, every nook and corner. People are reacting, people are talking. The Kenyan Film Board has banned the movie and said the movie is blasphemous, unfit to go on the movie screens. So just give our kind of, we'll play you the video so you guys can see what the movie is about, the trailer of the movie, and then we'll talk about it and give our candid opinions.
Huyu ni Alex, mimi ni Sami. Alex ni penzi langu la maisha. Namuelewa na ananielewa pia. Tunafaana.
Mama toto. Na anaweza kaaje bila bibi? Lazima awe na bibi. Asikie uzuri ambao tumesikia, ama ile shida ambayo tuko nayo aione pia.
Mimi nataka tu babangu anielewe vile niko, ajue life yangu na achane na mimi nifanye chenye najua kwa za mambrona. Huyu ni mimi nikiwa na umri wa miaka 14. Hapo ndipo nilipogundua niko tofauti. Hapakuwa na mwelekezi katika familia, kijiji na hata nchini.
Sisi tunakanga tu hivi makuti. Wazazi wetu wanajua tunachoianza.
Zote katika jiji kama likusho.
Baba yangu aliniuliza uhusiano wangu na Alex. Singeweza kukana. Alikasirika sana. Akaniambia mimi si mtoto wake tena na nisirudi nyumbani.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how angry is your dad?
15. There is a possibility that he has paid people to teach me a lesson.
When darkness comes, I'm not alone. I never fear the shadows on the floor. Oh, unashamed. Yes, I will stand unashamed.
Now, starting with you, Chimezi, what did you feel? What did you feel about the movie, the band generally? What are your thoughts?
For me, when I watched the trailer, I looked at the documentary. I feel like this is a documentary every queer person can relate to, knowing that there is one stage in your life where you felt like God is going to cure you from your homosexuality, bring gayness out, and then you go to the church, because even in that documentary, I don't know, but I think in one of the reviews I was watching about that documentary, one person was saying that there was a time in his life that it was just the church who could, provide for all his needs. And at that time, when the church is providing for all your need, all your hope is in the church, you fully expect to find the love you never found at home, or you never find in the world from the church. But the truth about it is that the church doesn't even have this love at all, especially when you come out as being queer, which is in the state of this documentary. Then the most touching part of the story is not just the church, but also the father of the guy in the documentary, where he said that he believes his father hates him at a 15. They asked him from a 1 to 10, how much percentage do you think your father hates you? And he said a 15%, which is something I think we need to have a conversation about African parents and gay sons or LGBTQ children, because like most of our parents will go to the extent to disown you. They will go to the extent to even hire assassins to kill you. I don't understand though, to be honest. And most of these our parents, so it's not as if like they are armed robbers or they are, they are people rooted, deaconesses, you're getting assistant pastors and prayer warriors in church. But they will go to the extent to even hire assassins, do the despicable thing just to feel like they are correcting you. Even in this relating to this story, I remember Reverend Jide McCollin also said his father said it was better for him to be locked up in prison. Maybe that will kind of correct his head and be straight. You can imagine what fathers will do to sons who come out as queer. We have had stories where father kills queer children because they want to, keep their name intact. And I wonder, are we not supposed to love our own spouse? Are African parents not supposed to love their own children? We are the bones of your bones, the blood of your blood, the flesh of your flesh. You are supposed to protect us than anybody out there. But many a times have we seen African parents just turn their backs on us, and that is something most of us in this community can relate. And because of that, we feel like in the gospel we find this hope, but we don't find this hope. And this story is the real reality of how the church is the biggest anarchy we have.
Okay. My own opinions on the movie, on the trailer, when I saw it, I've not actually seen the movie. I wish to see it was that the beginning started looking funny for me, because when I
explain
I don't know
why do you say so?
the beginning looked funny for me, because when I saw two men on a fig tree showing love on the fig tree, it was very funny. But then towards the trailer, but the beginning looked funny, but towards the trailer, it's kind of the story kind of opened up, and I felt, I was now into getting the insight of the movie. And I told people, I said, things like this are not new to the community, they are not new. But I tell people, like, see, it's one thing for us to talk about. That's why I said I would like to watch the movie to be able to analyze it well, just like Legend of the Underground.
We're only talking about the trailer right now.
Yeah, so, talking about the trailer. That's what I'm saying. I said I would love to watch the movie. Hold on. 2 minutes. Don't lose my train of. I don't want to lose my train of thought. Please, just hold on. So I know it's about the trailer. That's why I said I've not seen the movie yet, so I don't want to analyze. So I want to first watch the movie. Like Legend of the Underground, I've seen the movie, so which we are still going to talk about very soon. This one is just the trailer, and for the trailer, I feel like my main point is that it is fine and good, fantastic that you guys are talking about the plight of what some LGBT community members face in Kenya, which is true, which is obvious, which I will not be surprised, I will not be shocked. But my problem is that, what are the solutions? See, it's one thing for you to talk about problems. It's one thing for us to get solutions. This is like a bigger step, a higher step than Rafiki. Rafiki came out, the same Kenya too. Rafiki too was banned by the film board in Kenya. That was a lesbian movie. The difference between Rafiki and this was that Rafiki was fiction. This is a documentary. So it's actually like a true story. But Rafiki came, he went, got on the whole frenzy to the back and forth. I think Rafiki was like 3 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I'm sure that 3 years ago, I think it's that long. Came together, the frenzy, the buzz, everything, and this thing. Did LGBTQI rights become better in Kenya? I would say no. I don't know about Kenyan people. If you are Kenyan, please comment and tell me if it got better, if it got. And that went away. Now we have I Am Samuel coming on board, which is a gay movie, a documentary, a step higher. What is it going to change in the LGBTI community member? Is it just for profit making, for the recommendations? British, I saw most of them recommending it. The British said this, iVogue said this, a fantastic movie, it moves you to this, it moves you to that. Okay, it moves you. Does it move the government? Does it change anything? Does it set the pace for us? Is this a pace setter? What does it bring us? Does it buzz? Does it make conversation buzz? I think the film, one thing about me is I don't know. I'm trying to not talk too much. So it doesn't look as if I'm discrediting the movie. It's a fantastic movie. I tell people, like what I always tell people again, that media changes culture. But when you now go to a global, see, it's one thing for you to be like anybody that's like on our level now. If you're like on our stage, just sharing news, bringing out the news to the community, bringing out positivity to the community, telling people this is what is going on. We are still at that level. But it's the kind of level you get to when you're on like a higher level. Conversations need to be had. If it's like having town hall meetings, if it's like having board meetings, call a commissioner. I think the best thing I ever saw, I have not seen anything that beats it to. I'm still watching, I'm still trying to see, was that debate held by BBC and BBC's the big debate, BBC's The Big Debate, which was homosexuality African. They called the president of Botswana. President of Botswana was there. The parliamentary head of Uganda was there. The man who made the gay law, killed the gays, was there. This activist, what's the name of this activist with an eyeglass, was there. The leader of the Nigerian Muslim Nigerian Muslim, which was a woman, the Nigerian Muslim Association, was there. I think people should watch that I wish we could put it in our description so people could see it. That was like one of the biggest debates because these were like pace setters. These were people like were in the head of homophobic institutions in every different countries, and they were there hearing from people in the audience. They called the traditionalist woman that was married to a woman to talk about her own plight, to talk about this thing. The people in the audience, people were giving back and forth. Some people were supporting, some people, but in the end, there was so much points. People said there are reasons why they were against it. People said there are reasons why they were in support. People said it was like a pace setter. And it got to the point, like towards the ending, the Ugandan parliamentary man that even was trying to sign the bill was even cringing to his seat. I could feel that he was trying. Even the president of Botswana said the former president was not an ex-president when they brought him. He was an ex-president. He said what he regrets is that he did not make the thing legal. And he said that, but they did not criminalize anybody. It was not criminalized, but he wished I made it legal. And now, it's legal now in Botswana. This was done, like, this debate was done, I think it was 2 years before it was made legal in Botswana. I'm sure that was one of the debates. It might not be the only thing, but it helped to make a pace setter. It helped to turn on conversations. And that's something I feel like moving forward, that's what we should have. So I don't keep on going and sound like a broken record. Chimere, you can come in now. I just don't want to use my train of thoughts and make sure I arrange and make sure I say everything I want to say. So you can go on.
I just wanted to say that would be the movie that I feel everybody should go on and watch and give us your comments. That was all I wanted to say. Oh yeah.
Okay, no problem, Jerry. So that's our offering for Q Talk Breaking News Wahala for this episode. So if you've seen the movie, comment under the description below. Tell us what do you feel about the movie. Rate it 1/10. What do you feel? And also if you've seen Rafiki too, comment under the I've seen Rafiki. Rafiki was a very, very good movie. It was very fantastic. So if you've seen it too, comment what you feel. Comment what you feel like maybe what you feel about the movie. Is it the right step in the right direction? Should there be more? Should more be done? Is this enough? Just comment what you guys feel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Like I tell people again, tell your family members, subscribe, tell your community members, tell your friends, tell your family, subscribe. Till next episode, see you guys later. Peace out.